Suarez again batting second. The DH today is Christian Yelich. A day off from playing left field. And Jake Bauers, the first baseman this afternoon. No Rhys Hoskins. Bauers hitting sixth. Jackson Chorio, the left fielder, his bat has come to life in recent games. He's hitting in the seventh spot. And Oliver Dunn with the injury to Joey Ortiz, creating an opening at third base today. Dunn gets his first start in a couple of weeks. He is batting eighth. Blake Perkins, the center fielder, will round out the lineup against the right-hander Chris Bassett. This should be a good one. We figure perhaps another low-scoring one. Who knows? It's the rubber match between the Blue Jays and the Brewers. And Lane Grindle returns with more of the On Deck Show built by Menards right after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
With the enhanced engine performance and fuel economy of newly reformulated Tri-Clean gas from Citgo, you're good to go. But good to go where? Exotic bird shopping?
Pick me.
To your Tuesday night bowling league?
Woo! That's a turkeys.
Good to go try your luck at bingo.
J32.
Good to go to a lumberjack competition.
I'm gonna move my car.
New top-tier Tri-Clean gas from Citgo, the most advanced fuel we've ever made. Now you're good to go.
Lots of insurance companies make promises about how much you can save if you switch over to them. Well, here's our promise. With the West Bend policy, you can save everything. Every memory, every detail, everything you've worked so hard for. Once it comes time to actually make a claim, a cheap insurance policy can really cost you. Why not protect everything that matters with a policy from West Bend? Because the worst brings out our best. Visit thesilverlining.com to find out more.
Fleet Farm is the place for the best Father's Day deals around. This week, save $60 on a Milwaukee M18 cordless 2-tool combo kit. Now just $169. Get a 28-inch Blackstone griddle with cover and accessories on sale for $249.99. And bring the kids June 15th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. to decorate a free grilling apron just for Dad. Treat your special guy to everyday favorites and more this Father's Day at Fleet Farm.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is being brought to you by Citgo. Miller Lite, it's Miller time. Usinger's famous sausage. Usingers in baseball, it's just not summer without them. American Family Insurance, Menards, Prevea Health, Construction Business Group, Wisconsin Infrastructure Investment Now, Delta Dental, Quick Trip, Fleet Farm, Woodman's Food Market, Palms Tire, West Bend Insurance, The Silver Lining, U.S. Cellular, built for us, Carbless, a premium ready-to-drink cocktail, Island Resort and Casino, Coakley Brothers and Brothers Interiors, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Potawatomi Sportsbook, Cedar Crest Ice Cream, Wisconsin Biofuels, and Wisconsin Laborers District Council. Brewers and Blue Jays. The finale of this three-game series right around the corner as we continue on the On Deck Show built by Menards on the Brewers Radio Network.
Fun, history, and a breath of fresh air along the Mississippi River in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. Imagine your trip to Prairie du Chien any way you want it to be. Maybe it's a hike along a scenic bluff-top trail or unwinding at a music festival. Experience the history of the Upper Mississippi River, a ride on the stunning Great River Road, or just a relaxing day fishing. Prairie du Chien, a destination with it all, any way you'd like it to be. Discover more at prairieduchien.org.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and for most all of us, here's the reality. Life happens, but when those moments occur, two words come to mind: common sense. For nearly 90 years, Great Midwest Bank has made the home buying, building, renovation, and refinancing process straightforward, while too many others overthink and overdo. Our portfolio loans are GMB's not-so-best-kept secret. Apply online at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Natural gas is a clean, reliable, and convenient source of energy delivered directly to you through underground pipelines. The pipeline system has an excellent safety record, but there are clues that can help you identify a potential hazard. If you smell the strong odor of rotten eggs, hear an unusual hissing sound, or see blowing dirt or debris, it could be a natural gas leak. Leave the area immediately and call We Energies at 800-261-5325.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
For over 75 years, the Lynch family of dealerships has been more than just a car dealership. Starting in 1957, we've treated our customers like family from day one. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand the value of relationships. That's why we've just been awarded the Top Workplace Award for the 5th consecutive year. If you're tired of the same old car buying experience and want to be treated like family, visit one of our dealerships today. Let us show you the Lynch difference. Start your car buying journey today at shoplynch.com.
Ice cream and sausage at the ballpark.
Polish, Italian, that's the sausage, not the ice cream.
You're listening to the flagship of the Milwaukee Brewers, WTMJ.
This will be one of the warmest days of the year thus far in Milwaukee. Got mid-80 degree temperatures here on this Wednesday afternoon, and the roof is open at American Family Field for the series rubber match that's just moments away from commencing. It's the Blue Jays and the crew. I'm Josh Maurer, welcoming you back to the end of the On Deck Show built by Menards. And as always, before we turn it over for the play-by-play, let's drive around the league. Brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors, building Wisconsin together. All the action in the Central Division is coming up later on tonight, including that Pirates and Cardinals series that had a great opener yesterday at Busch. 2-1 Pittsburgh got the win in a great pitcher's duel between Paul Skeens and Miles Michaelis. But the Pirates prevailed, and how about this? Coming into today, Pittsburgh's in second place in the division, 6.5 games behind the Brewers, and everybody else is 7 games back. It'll be the Cubs and the Rays at 5:50 Central. Javier Assad for Chicago. They blew one last night. 4-run ninth inning for Tampa to get that win. And then the Cleveland Guardians and the team the Brewers will host next, the Cincinnati Reds. That's the end of a 2-game series. That Great American and the Guardians will try for the sweep. Rubber match here. Tobias Myers on the hill for the Brewers and the difficult veteran right-hander Chris Bassett for Toronto. With Myers getting ready, I turn it over to Lane Grindle. He's got your first inning of play-by-play.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. A reminder that this copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Milwaukee Brewers Baseball Club. That is brought to you by Boucher Automotive Group. I was at Boucher yesterday. You can visit them today by going to Boucher.com. Tobias Myers. Excited to see what he can do after that brilliant start on Friday night in Detroit. 8 innings, just the 1 hit allowed. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Ended his outing with 100 pitches on the nose. And Spencer Horwitz leads off for the Blue Jays. And the first pitch of this game is over for a strike, and it's 0-1. Horwitz is hit near the top of the lineup in all 3 games. Second game in the leadoff spot in this series. And a swing and a miss at a fastball at 94, and it's 0-2. And Myers picking up where he left off, at least through the first 2 pitches, because he is throwing strikes and coming right after these Blue Jays hitters so far. 0-2 pitch to Horwitz, and a slow roller to third. Waiting on it is Oliver Dunn. Sets his feet, throws to first, and Horwitz is the first out. One away for Davis Schneider. Got underway at 1:11 p.m. Central Time, 87 degrees. Woo! At first pitch, Josh is excited. He loves the heat. Here's Davis Schneider. First pitch swinging. High drive out to right center field. Back and gone. Davis Schneider, a solo home run. Breaks up an 0 for 18 at the plate, and the Blue Jays have taken a 1-0 lead. Schneider got a fastball at 92. Outer half of the plate. He set it out to right. And Toronto jumps out in front early. First pitch of Brewers baseball brought to you by Carbliss. Premium cocktails in a can. Stop at your local grocer and stock up for the game or for your next tailgate. Carbliss. Less is more. Here's Bo Bichette. Hits it off the end of the bat. On the ground to first. Bowers fields. Tosses to Myers covering the first base bag for the second out. And there's 2 outs now for Dan Vogelbach. Well, Myers, as we told you, so far he's been aggressive. 5 pitches, 5 strikes. It was a good recipe for him last Friday in Detroit. The lefty Vogelbach in there. First pitch to him. He's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Vogelbach hitting 188 with a home run and 8 driven in. The former Brewer. A 1. And that's in there for a strike on a changeup. It's 0-2. Vogelbach not in agreement with home plate umpire Junior Valentine, shaking his head no. He thought it was high. The 0-2 pitch. Missed low with a changeup. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Vogelbach was a crowd favorite when he was here in Milwaukee, 2020, 2021. 1-2 missed outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bounced around a little bit. Pittsburgh, the Mets, and now with the Blue Jays for the second time in his career. 2-2 pitch. Hits one foul and out of play down the left field line. We'll do it again at 2-2. 1-0 Blue Jays, top of the first inning. Just getting underway in the finale here this afternoon. 2-2, hit on the ground to second base. Waiting on it is Turang, scoops it out of the dirt and throws to first. And that's the final out of the inning. Blue Jays get one on a solo shot from Davis Schneider, his 8th home run of the season.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
And spine care, because at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference.
The first inning is sponsored by Lakeland University. Don't put your life on hold to earn your undergraduate or graduate degree. Earn your degree on your time. Learn more at lakeland.edu/baseball.
1-0 Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the first inning here at American Family Field. Bryce Turang lead things off for the Crew. And right-hander Chris Bassett on the mound here this afternoon for Toronto. Bassett's first pitch to Turang is in there for a strike. And it's 0-1. Bassett, the former Met, former Oakland A, debuted all the way back in 2014. He's 35 years old. The pitch missed down and away. That's that split change from Bassett. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Turang, hitting .296 on the year, 3 home runs, 24 driven in. The 1-1, that's a little bit high, 2 balls and a strike. Bassett debuted with the White Sox all the way back in 2014. Then that long career with the A's, including 2021 when he was an All-Star. And traded to the Mets And now in his second season in Toronto, pitch is over but low. And the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike on Bryce Terang. Had a good year a season ago, his first in Toronto, went 16-8 with a 3.60 ERA and 33 starts and 200 innings exactly. It's a big number in today's game of baseball. If you get to 200 innings, you are a workhorse. 3-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back into the net, and the count is full. It's 3-2.
He actually was tied for the American League lead in wins last year with those 16. It seems pretty low to lead the league, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just the game today, I think. You know, we used to look at 20 wins as this big benchmark. Nobody gets to 20 wins anymore. 16's a big number in today's game. 33 starts led the league as well. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, backhanded by the second baseman, Kiner Falefa. He throws to first to get Terang, and there's one away. A lengthy at bat from Bryce Terang, but it ends in a ground out. Quick trip around the bases presented by Mars, and today's contestant is Joseph Laschinger from Cross Plains. If the Brewers score in the first inning, Joseph will win a $100 Quick Trip gift card. Compliments of Mars and Quick Trip. To enter, see stores for details. Here's William Contreras, hitting .307 on the year with 8 home runs and 46 driven in. 2 for 8 in this series so far. And Bassett's first offering to him is a bouncer to third. Big, huge hop for Clement. He throws across in time. And Contreras is retired 5-3 for the second out, and that'll get Yelich to the plate. Brewers baseball brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. With great taste and only 96 calories, it's Miller time. Yelich had the double in the 8th inning of last night's game. Hit off the base of the wall in left center in front of the Brewers bullpen. His only hit of the series, 1 for 8 in the series for Christian. And the pitch, a rocket through the right side and into right field for a base hit for Yelich. So Yelich up there picking on the first pitch. And it's a 2-out single, and the Brewers have a base runner in front of Willie Adames, who is hitting cleanup today. You can clean up any home damage with Loyal Family, South Milwaukee, Oak Creek, and across the state. Don't let the out-of-towners handle it. You need to call locally owned Loyal Family Renovations for a free inspection today. So here's Adames, 2 for 5 in the series, had a home run in the opener on Monday. First pitch to him, check swing foul above the Brewers dugout. It's 0-1. A couple of RBIs in Monday's game for Willie. He's been swinging it very well at home. 10 home runs on this season, 45 driven in to go along with his .246 average. 0-1. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Had a big hanging curveball. And it's 0-2. That is a curveball at 69 miles per hour out of the hand of Chris Bassett. There goes the runner, 0-2 pitch. He is down and away, and Yelich in there with a stolen base. So a 1-2 count. Stolen base number 12 for Yelich. And a donation to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Wisconsin, courtesy of Delta Dental and Delta Vision. 2 great plans and one name you trust. Yelich stole third last night in the 8th inning on a double steal, with Adames trailing him into second base. And now Yelich swipes a bag in the bottom of the first. So runner in scoring position. And a 1-2 count against Adames. Bassett brings home the pitch, and that's up and in, 2-2. You hear Pat Murphy talk about it a lot. The threat of a steal, the threat of aggression on the base paths, that alone can really distract the pitcher. 2-2. And missed inside. Count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Go from being able to focus on what's going on at the plate to having to divide your attention. And the Brewers really put a lot of stress on opposing pitchers with that threat. Here's the 3-2 to Adames. Down and away. Worked the walk. So Willie was down 0-2, battles back, works the walk, and now the Brewers hoping to put together a 2-out rally here. Ortho ASAP, walk right in. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. And now first and second for Sal Frelick. Yelich at second, Adames at first. A 1-0 Blue Jays lead, bottom of the first inning. Frelick hitting .252, 2 home runs. He's driven in 14 on the year. First pitch brought home to him. A little bit tall, and it's 1-0. Bowers in the on-deck circle if Frelick can keep the inning going. Bassett brings home the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball missed down and in. Big overhand curveball. It's 2 balls and no strikes now on Frelick. Brewers with another at bat with a runner in scoring position. It is a category they've been good at over the course of the year, but struggled in this series. 2-0 pitch, and Frelick squared to bunt, pulled the bat back, and took a ball. 3-0. Might have got the benefit of that call, did Sal. Looked like it might have been a strike from Bassett, but the Brewers won't complain. 3 balls and no strikes on Frelick. Chance to make this at the very least a lengthy inning for Bassett. After getting into that Blue Jays bullpen a bit early last night. 3-0. And that's high. Frelick works the walk, now back-to-back walks. And the Brewers have loaded the bases for the second consecutive game in the bottom of the first. They did it last night. Were unable to come up with anything. And now Bowers comes to the plate with a big opportunity here. And Alejandro Kirk is out to chat with Bassett. Bo Bichette will join in that conversation. Trips to the mound presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. A new era of sports betting at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Video wall, self-service kiosks, restaurant, bar, VIP deck, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise. So Bassett has thrown 18 pitches in the inning, which is really not that many when you consider he's faced 5 hitters and walked 2. Brewers were somewhat aggressive with Contreras and Yelich early in the count. First pitch to Bowers, and he flinches at a curveball for a strike. It's 0-1. But had a lengthy at-bat from Terang, and then the walks from Adames and Frelick here. And now the base is loaded for Bowers. Bassett's 0-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled back into the net, and it's 0-2. Bowers has faced Bassett a fair amount in the past. He's 2 for 8 in his career against the right-hander for Toronto. Bassett brings home the 0-2 pitch. Popped up foul and out of play behind home plate. And we will do it again. Brewers went 0 for 12 last night with runners in scoring position. And already with some opportunities with runners in scoring position again here today in the bottom of the first. And now Bassett will step off and steer Adames back to the bag at second base. Bowers has been a decent clutch hitter over the course of the season for the Brewers. In big spots, he's come through a lot. 0-2. Breaking ball. One hops the glove of the first baseman, Horwitz, who will run to the bag himself and retire Bowers. Hit it hard, but right at Horwitz, who got it on a hop and was able to secure the 3rd out of the inning. Brewers leave them loaded. We head to the second. so far here today. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled out of play first base side. Stays at 0-2. There's some exceptions to that. He lost command a little bit in that start down in Chicago last month. 0-2. Skied high in the air. Shallow left field. That's Adames racing out there. And making the catch, and there's 2 down. So a couple of quick outs for Tobias Myers. He's recorded 5 outs on 16 pitches in this game. And there's 2 down now for Dalton Varsho. Made right here in Wisconsin, Cedar Crest Ice Cream, the hometown favorite. Of course, just like Usingers. First pitch to Varsho, in there with a strike. It's 0-1. Usingers, the finest sausage made in Milwaukee, and Pine River's award-winning cheese spreads from Wisconsin's best dairy farms. 0-1. Varsho rolls it foul over near the Brewers dugout. It's 0-2. Doesn't get any better than the hometown favorites that are also best in class. Varsho uses his timeout and now climbs back in there. 0-2 pitch. Missed down and away with a changeup. And it's a ball and 2 strikes on Varsho. 2 for 7 in the series. 6-game hitting streak coming into this afternoon's game. 1-2. Chopped foul off of Contreras. Contreras seems to be just fine. And it stays at 1-2 on the Marshfield, Wisconsin product. Played collegiately at UWM. Played against the Brewers in an exhibition game at American Family Fields of Phoenix when he was a collegiate player. 1-2, and he got him looking. Painted the outside corner with a fastball at 94. First ortho ASAP strikeout of the afternoon for Tobias Myers, and he works through the Blue Jays. 1-2.
Suarez.
1-0 Blue Jays. We go to the bottom of the second inning here at American Family Field. Jackson Churio to lead things off for the Crew against right-hander Chris Bassett. He needed 22 pitches to get through the first. Jackson squares to bunt, takes a strike. It's 0-1. Brewers left the bases loaded in the bottom of the first inning. Try to get something going here in the second with Churio, Dunn, and Perkins. 7, 8, 9 in the Brewers' order scheduled to hit. Here's the 0-1 to Churio. And a little flare into shallow left center field, down for a base hit for Jackson. He just continues to stack up good at-bats. A very promising sign for this Brewers offense. Leadoff man is aboard for Oliver Dunn. If there's a shot at a Save opportunity at the end of this game. It'll be brought to you by Fleet Farm. The new Fleet Rewards program has arrived at Fleet Farm. Enjoy special perks and find out how you can earn rewards fast to use on future purchases. Join today or sign into your account at fleetfarm.com/rewards. Oliver Dunn bunts it right back to Bassett. He is going to go to first with it, and he'll make that play to retire Dunn for the first out. Churio up to second on the play. Dunn probably wanted to bunt that either up the third baseline or up the first baseline more. He bunted it right back to Bassett. Probably fortunate that Bassett wasn't able to turn and try to get Churio at second base. It'll be a sacrifice for Dunn. It goes 1-3. And now here's Blake Perkins. And Perkins takes high. It's 1-0. So another runner in scoring position here. And Perkins, who has been swinging it so well of late, 2 for 5 in the series, and the average up to 259. Up there is a lefty for the switch hitter against the right-handed Bassett. And a spin and a throw to second, and Churio back in there standing up. Blue Jays with an early 1-0 lead, just the bottom of the second inning here. Bassett working from the stretch, and the 1-0. Curveball missed outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count. Bassett checks second. And now brings home the 2-0 pitch. And Perkins flinched and took a fastball that just clipped the upper outside corner. Brewers dugout reacting to it, not really barking at Junior Valentine for that call, just more grimacing, hoping that that wouldn't be called a strike. It's a very borderline pitch. 2-1, high drive, deep right field. Back goes Springer onto the warning track in front of the wall to make the catch. Tagging at second is Churio. He'll get to third, and he's there with 2 outs. Perkins gave that a ride, just didn't quite get it. And the ball just died about a foot in front of the wall in right center field. Springer back there. Wasn't even up against the wall quite yet. He was about a step from it in front of the Blue Jays bullpen. So here's Bryce Turang. Bassett's pitch, and Bryce a bouncer to short. Played on the forehand by Bichette near the bag at second. Throws to first in time to retire Turang, and the inning is over. Brewers got a leadoff single. Strand Churio at third. We are through 2.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Blue Jays with a 1-0 lead as we head to the third inning here at American Family Field. And stepping in with the play-by-play, here's Josh Maurer.
Thank you, Lane. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa is going to lead off against Tobias Myers. 8-9-1 in the order for the Blue Jays. Ernie Clement and then Spencer Horwitz do. Following Kiner-Falefa, hitting .270 on the year. 4 homers, 26 driven in. Pitch ground ball to third. Off the glove of Oliver Dunn. He picks it back up next to his feet and rifles it across in time for the out. Good job by Oliver Dunn, who was playing about level with the third base bag there. So the ball got on him quickly, and he kept it close enough to his body after a slight juggle that he was still able to get the out on Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. 1 gone for Tobias. Here's Ernie Clement, number 9 batter. And the pitch. A little bit up tall, ball 1. Well, so far, Myers again looking very sharp. 1-0 pitch. Clement took down and in. It's 2-0. Clement hitting .232 on the year. A couple of homers, 9 driven in for the utility man. And the pitch. Down and away. It's 3-0. This is his first start of the series. Home run from Davis Schneider in the first. 3-0 pitch in their first. Strike 3-1. That's the only damage thus far, but the Brewers have already had a lot of chances against Chris Bassett. They've left 4 men on base in the first couple of innings. Glad you're with us. Roof open on a hot Wednesday afternoon at American Family Field. 3-1 pitch. Hit into center field. A play for Blake Perkins. Few steps to his left. He's there with the shades on and makes the catch. Clement out number 2. This third inning is brought to you by Citgo. Whether you're off to the ballpark or dog park, Citgo top tier tri-clean gasoline gets you where you're going. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. Only 1 base runner the first time through the order against Myers. And now Spencer Horwitz takes inside. The rookie Horwitz grounded out to begin the ballgame. He's been the Blue Jays' best hitter in the series. Pitch bounced in. It's 2-0. 4 for 9 with a walk. Brewers trail 1-0. If they can come back and win it, they would win a 6th straight series at home. There's a strike. Just clipped the outside corner. 2-1 on Horwitz with 2 out and the bases clear. Last time the Brewers lost a series here, you have to go back to late April against the Yankees. 2-1, big swing and a miss by Horwitz. Good cutter, and it's 2-2. Kind of quietly, you would say the Brewers have become one of the best home teams in baseball here for well over a month. And they've split the first couple of games with the Jays. Myers is ready. The 2-2 pitch. Almost hit him. It came down and in. Horwitz was able to skip and get out of the way somehow. It was right at his legs. Full count. Spencer Horwitz. 26-year-old rookie. The pitch. Swing ground ball back up the middle. Tough play to Rank. Picks with a backhand. Jumps, throws off balance, and he pulled Bowers off the bag. So Horwitz is safe at first. That is such a tough throw to make. And Bryce Terang couldn't keep it on target. So it's an infield hit for Horwitz. It's his 5th hit in the series. We are so spoiled watching Terang day in and day out that you almost expect him to get that throw there accurately, but it's just so hard to do with your momentum taking you into the outfield. And now the home run hitter, Davis Schneider. He takes a strike.
He makes that play with ease so often. He might have had a little more time than he thought on that one. He might have been able to just set his feet and make the throw. But normally you're not worried about that because he's got such great balance anyway.
Schneider, Fouls back a slider, and it's 0-2. Another rookie, although this guy played 35 games with the Jays last year, Davis Schneider. 0-2, the pitch. High, deep drive to left field, way back. Home run distance, if it's fair, it is foul. Just wide of the pole, down that left field line for Schneider. Exhale, Tobias Myers. It's just a strike. A long, loud one. Well, the Blue Jays manager, John Schneider, no relation, by the way, to the batter, Davis Schneider. He's asking for an umpire review here, which the umpires can do on those home run plays, fair or foul.
The ruling on the field is a foul ball. This is a crew chief review of that call.
And that's Adrian Johnson making the announcement, but we saw a replay, Lane. It looked like it certainly did hook foul.
Yeah, I don't think this will take very long. And this isn't a Blue Jays challenge. It's a crew chief review. That's what happens on these home runs or non-home runs that are in question. And so certainly within the parameters of what John Schneider is allowed to do, come out and request that they have a crew chief review. They've obliged that, and this shouldn't take very long. It'll end up being a foul ball.
Brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. They can customize windows and doors that match any era's architecture. Here's Adrian.
Ruling on the field confirmed, it's foul ball.
And it is indeed. Anyway, yeah, Pella. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So it's still 0-2 on Davis Schneider. He almost had his second home run of this game. Runner at first is Horwitz with 2 out in the third. 1-0 Blue Jays. And now Myers' 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a high fastball. Just missed a homer. And then one pitch later, Davis Schneider K's. Second ortho ASAP.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Banking with an experienced crew is a big home run for personal or business finances. Don't just bank with anyone. Tri-City, your hometown bank.
William Contreras leads off the bottom of the third and takes a strike. Breaking ball at the bottom of the zone from Chris Bassett. 1-0 Toronto. Meat of the order coming up, though, here for the Brewers with Contreras, Yelich, and Adames. 0-1 on William. And the pitch. Popped foul coming back right off to my left. It hit the wall where Lane Grindle might have been sitting, but Lane has vacated the premises. We got a dent in the wall now, though. Then the count is 0-2 on Contreras. The pitch. down and away. Lane picked a good moment to get up and take a walk. Missed a souvenir. Right into the booth off the bat of William, who grounded out back in the first. Bassett winds the 0-2. Just missed a little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We've got a nice baseball-sized dent right in the plaster behind us. The 2-2 pitch. Down in the dirt. And from 0-2, the count is full. 3-2 on Contreras. Kent, who sits on the upper level of our broadcast booth, has come down to inspect this new piece of baseball that has left an imprint on the wall here in the broadcast booth, courtesy of William Contreras. It was a little bit too far to my left to try to catch it, I would tell you. Now the 3-2 pitch. Line down the right field line, but slicing foul and out of play. Lane is back now, and he is just seeing what would have whizzed right before his eyes had he been here at the moment.
That might have taken me out. That looks like it must have been coming in pretty high.
It was coming in, yep.
It's a good thing I was gone, I think.
Still 3-2, the pitch. Swinging a foul straight back into the screen. A challenge fastball there from Bassett to Contreras. It has already been authenticated by Mr. Sommerfeld.
Not properly, though. You have to put the batter's name on there.
He got the Sharpie out and wrote today's date on the indent in our wall. Leading off the bottom of the third, 3-2 again. Popped foul coming back over our heads this time.
Yeah, we got to put the name of the batter here. I'll take care of that part.
Teamwork.
Yeah, take the headset back off, though. It doesn't reach this far.
Yelich on deck. It's going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat from Bassett to Contreras. Here it is. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a breaking ball, and William loses the grip on the bat. That flies back into the backstop. So Bassett wins the fight. It's his first strikeout. 1 down. It is the Potawatomi Casino Hotel 3-bagger in the third contest. Our contestant, Gene Klatt from South Milwaukee, would win a Potawatomi prize package if a member of the crew hits triple this inning. Visit WTMJ.com to enter. Christian Yelich, he'll take low on that big, slow curveball that Bassett features.
Josh, I have sat next to you in the booth for enough games now. I know that usually if something's coming close to the booth, you're trying to make a play on it. Did you try to make a play on it?
I did. I reached, but it was just a little bit too far left of me. Yelich takes a strike at the knees, and it's 1-1.
How close to my computer was it?
You know what? Pretty darned.
Yeah, it looks like that's the angle it would have had to come in at.
Yeah. It had some heat to it. Yelich takes inside. 2-1. Christian singled back in the first. 1-0 Blue Jays, bottom third. Uke would have caught it.
Yes, he would have. Even if he didn't, we would have told everybody he did.
2-1. That's a strike. Good fastball right at the knees to Yelich. 2-2. This is a hot one. Temperatures in the upper 80s with the roof open today. The spot to be is anywhere on the first base side. Then you're in the shade. 2-2 pitch. Yelich swings, fouls it off. He loses grip of the bat, and it flies all the way into the netting near the first base Brewers dugout as the ball went back behind the plate. That's 2 batters in a row that have lost the grip on a swing, and that'll tell you probably how sticky it is out there right now. Yelich has the bat retrieved for him. The ball actually hit the mask of the catcher, Kirk. Yeah, there's very few open seats anywhere along the first base and right field lines. Many more so third base and left field because that's directly in the sun today. Bassett with a new ball. 1 out. 2-2 on Christian Yelich. The right-hander kicks and deals, and he catches the inside corner. Perfect fastball. Strike 3 called. 94-mile-an-hour pitch. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the inning for Bassett. He's got a chance at his first 1-2-3 of the day. That brings up Willie Adames, who walked in that first inning rally. Brewers loaded the bases with 2 outs in the first, but Jake Bauers grounded out. 1-0 Toronto. Bassett with a pitch, and it's fouled straight back. Fastball on the inner third. We told you Bassett's been a very good pitcher for many years now. He has been exceptional against the Brewers in his career in limited starts. This is only the 3rd time he's ever faced Milwaukee. Willie swings and pops it up. Foul and playable down the third baseline. It's the third baseman Clement coming in. He made it almost to home plate, and Clement makes the catch to retire the side. Brewers have never scored against Chris Bassett. It's now 17 innings he's pitched.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Learn more.
Going into the 4th inning, Tobias Myers going back to work, trailing 1-0 to the Blue Jays. And it'll be the middle of the Toronto order, starting with Bo Bichette, who pops up the first pitch. Shallow into center for Blake Perkins. Sauntering in, looks up into that bright blue sky and makes the catch. And Bichette is out on 1 pitch. He's 0 for 2. It'll bring up Daniel Vogelbach. Carbless is a proud partner of the Brewers. Premium ready-to-drink cocktails. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten. Find it at the ballpark right here or at your local grocery store. Carbless, less is more. Vogelbach takes outside. Good stuff again from Tobias Myers thus far. The 1-0 pitch. Vogie takes a strike at the top of the zone. He grounded out back in the first. 2 years with the Brewers for Vogelbach. And the pitch comes in low. It's 2-1. Tobias Myers pitching as well as we've seen him the last couple of starts. Misses outside here on a cutter. It's 3-1 on Vogelbach. Brewers have won the game 3 of the last 4 times Tobias has pitched as a starter. 3-1, Vogelbach take ball 4 down and away. That's the first walk that Tobias has issued. And it gives Toronto a 1-out base runner here in the 4th, leading 1-0. figure with all the injuries in the starting rotation that continue to mount now with Robert Gasser out, Tobias is going to be up here for the future as far as we can see ahead. Swing and a miss now by George Springer. It's 0-1. He's kind of established himself now. Springer lined out to the shortstop Adames in the second. The 0-1 pitch, swing, ground ball. Back up the middle for Terang. Fields it near the bag. Tags second, 1. Throws to first, 2. Double play, 4-3. Springer grounds into it. Myers gets 2 for the price of 1.
Find it at the ballpark or at your local grocery store. Carbless. Less is more.
Sal Frelick, Jake Bowers, and Jackson Churio, 5, 6, and 7 in the lineup for the Brewers against Chris Bassett. 1-0 Toronto, and here comes Sal. Right-hander throws to him, line drive, foul down the third baseline. Missed by a few feet, hitting the chalk. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Brewers Radio Network. Josh Mauer today from American Family Field, along with Lane Grindle and producer-engineer Ken Sommerfeld. Rubber match of this 3-game series, interleague. Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. Then after taking one low, it's 1-1 on Sal Frelick leading off. Bassett throws. Breaking ball chopped foul very slowly. Went to Jake Bowers in the on-deck circle. 1-2. Frelick walked back in the first. Chris Bassett rocks into his windup, the 1-2 pitch. Taken high by Frelick on a cut fastball. Bassett had a rough start to the season relatively. His first 9 starts, he lost 6 of them, had an ERA north of 5, but he has been locked in ever since. The 2-2. Frelick takes inside corner, strike 3 called. There have been some calls that Junior Valentine, our home plate umpire, has been giving to each pitcher an inch or two perhaps off the plate, but it's been there both ways. And he has struck out now 3 of the last 4 batters that he's faced as Bassett. 1 down for Jake Bowers. Bassett's previous 4 starts, 3-0 with a 1.44 earned run average coming into today. First pitch to Bowers fades low. That was his splitter, 1-0. Jake grounded out with the bases loaded back in the first. 1-0 Toronto. The 1-0. Inside, it's 2-0. Brewers homestand continues this weekend. After a day off tomorrow, the Reds are coming to town for a Central Division battle. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Get your tickets, secure a Sal Frelick bobblehead Saturday, and a Brewmaster shirt for Father's Day Sunday. Wind up 2-0. Bowers bluffed a bunt, but he pulled it back and he took it high. That would have been a sneak attack, but it's 3-0. Get all your tickets to this weekend series with Cincinnati or any game. Brewers.com's got all the info. That'd be a fun series against the Redlegs. 3-0 pitch, taken for a strike by Bowers. That was borderline. Close to the top of the zone. Then Jake will use his timeout, which gives me a chance to get you today's safe driving tip from Schneider and their professional truck drivers. Always keep a safe distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. 3-1 pitch. Flied into left, slicing away from Davis Schneider over into foul territory and into the seats. Well out of play in the end, and it's a full count. Always good notes from Schneider's. Not John Schneider or Davis Schneider from the Blue Jays.
Spelled the same way, though.
It is. Got a lot of Schneiders in this broadcast. 1 out, bottom 4. Bassett's 3-2 pitch. Fisted towards third base. It's going to squib over top of the bag and roll into foul territory after it went over fair, and there's no play for Clement. Wow, you couldn't have rolled that out there more perfectly if you were Bowers, and he's got himself an infield hit. He's a left-handed batter, so when you hit the ball to that side of the infield, you know it's got some side spin on it. And it was spinning. It hit in front of third base, rolled right over top of third. In fact, it might have actually hit the base. Yeah, it did. Plinkoed off the top of the bag and then went into foul ground. Here's Jackson Churio, and he'll take inside ball 1. Well, maybe that's the break the Brewers needed to break the dam open. They haven't scored in over 14 innings. Pitch to Churio, breaking ball lined in the left field. In comes Davis Schneider, won't get it. It lands in front of him for a base hit. Stopping at second is Jake Bowers. It's a single for Churio, who's 2 for 2. The Brewers another threat, first and second with 1 out.
Feels like it's starting to come a little bit for Jackson, doesn't it? I mean, we've seen some big swings for power over the last week. That's been great to see, but we're also seeing the singles, and not just the infield singles. Not that that ball was hit overly hard, nor his hit earlier in the game. But he's starting to stack up some good at-bats and some production.
Hitting over 300 now his last 8 games. Now Oliver Dunn. 1-0 Blue Jays in the bottom of the 4th. Pitch to Dunn, down and in ball 1.
You just feel like every result like that one for him boosts the confidence that much more. And a confident Jackson Churio, when he finally turns that corner, it could get real special real fast.
2 on and 1 out. Dunn sacrificed his first time. The 1-0. Outside corner. Perfectly placed fastball, 1-1. Since he came back from AAA a few weeks ago when we were in Boston, Oliver Dunn's just hardly gotten to play. This is his first start in 16 games. 1-1 breaking ball low. It's 2-1. It's hard to do that. To get in there when you just haven't had consistent at-bats and then hit against tough major league pitching like Chris Bassett. Came in batting .226. Well, the rookie Dunn in a big spot. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball by him, did Bassett, and it's 2-2. He may have played today anyway, but the fact that Joey Ortiz's hamstring has kept him out a couple of games. The big reason why he's in there. The 2-2. Very high in a full count. Blake Perkins is on deck. This is becoming a more difficult time for the batters. The shadows have started to creep in between home plate and the pitcher's mound. I think probably for the next inning or two, that's going to be a pretty big advantage for the hurlers. Runner at second, Bowers. At first, Chourio. We're in the bottom of the fourth in a 1-0 Toronto lead. And Dunn, after time was called, is back in there with a 3-2 count. And now the pitcher, Bassett, steps off. Uses a disengagement. Wants to make sure he's comfortable. Infield at double play depth. The 3-2 pitch swung on and popped off the fist foul third base side, and that'll get up into the seats. About 5 or 6 rows in, and it's still 3-2. These last few nights, the Brewers are just waiting for that one big swing with runners on base. It hadn't come yet in the series. Is this the time? They lead from first and second. 3-2 pitch. Down and in, ball 4. He walked him. Bassett yanked his fastball. And that'll load the bases for Blake Perkins with only one out. Nice job by Oliver Dunn. So Bowers to third, Chourio to second, Dunn at first. And it's the pitching coach, Pete Walker, coming out to visit Chris Bassett. Potawatomi Sportsbook trip to the mound. New era of sports betting at Potawatomi with a video wall. Self-service kiosks, restaurant, bar, VIP deck, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise. And Lane, here comes Blake Perkins, who perhaps had the best swing of the day thus far against Bassett when he flew out almost to the right field fence.
Yeah, it feels like when it happens, the floodgates are going to open, right? Like, this offense has been so productive over the course of this year. And the Blue Jays have pitched it well. Give them a lot of credit for what they've been able to do on the mound in this series. But there's just been too many opportunities for the Brewers that eventually it's going to turn here. And when it does, it feels like it's going to turn in a big way.
Maybe right now. Pitching coach back in the dugout. Here comes Perkins. One out, bases loaded. The pitch. Strike. Right in the inside corner with a cutter. 0-1. 1-0 Toronto. Bassett approaching 70 pitches. From the stretch, the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul, fisted into the netting over towards the third base dugout. It's 0-2.
A little bit like last night, where they've really run up the pitch count on the starting pitcher, though.
Yeah, they've had so many early opportunities, as they did against Kikuchi. 0-2 pitch, way high and outside. That fastball's been sailing on him the last couple of hitters. 1-2. This game feels a lot like last night's game in many ways.
Yeah.
Kikuchi walked on eggshells, but they never cracked. Bases loaded here in the fourth. The 1-2 pitch swung on and lashed foul. Back up second level, third base side.
It's a tough recipe to live by if you're the Blue Jays. It worked for them last night, but eventually it catches up to you.
Well, it catches up to you, the Brewers hope. Bryce Terang is on deck. Bases loaded, one out. And Bassett steps off. Get a couple of disengagements, he'll use one. 1-2, the count on Perkins. Batting left-handed, he waits. Bassett Set at the belt, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out with a perfectly placed fastball. Up and in, and that, the biggest pitch of the game thus far. It is strikeout number 4 for Bassett, and now it'll take something with 2 outs from Bryce Terang if the Brewers are to score this inning. That's the way this series has gone thus far. But again, the Brewers just need one big swing to change that. Maybe it's from Terang, who's hitless in the series. First pitch, he dropped in a big curveball for strike 1, did Bassett. Brewers are 0 for 22 hitting with runners in scoring position in the series. The 0-1 pitch, outside. Cut fastball missed. 1-1 on Terang. Bryce has grounded out twice. And as you said, Chris Bassett, boy, has he had to grind. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a pop foul. Left field line, over goes Davis Schneider. Is there room? There is not. It went about 3 or 4 rows into the seats. So it's a strike, but Terang still with life. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bryce is 0 for 9 this series. Came into it with a red-hot bat. Blue Jays have cooled him off thus far. Bowers at third. Chourio at second. Dunn at first. 2 out in the bottom of the 4th. Toronto clinging to that 1-0 lead. Bassett ready, the 1-2 pitch. Flashed foul back up into the 3rd deck on the third base side. This has been a lengthy inning for Bassett, but thus far he has not permitted a run. Terang hopes to change that. 1-2 again. Swung on, fouled straight back. Had a good rip at that high fastball and stays alive again, does Bryce Terang. William Contreras is on deck. If he bats, the Brewers will have at least a run. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Close to violating the pitch clock here, so he steps off and uses his first disengagement. Pitch clock was at 1. This veteran Bassett, the 35-year-old, he knows how to manipulate that thing when he needs to. 1 ball, 2 strikes. It remains on Terang. Bassett kicks and deals, swinging a pop fly into shallow center. Out goes the shortstop Bichette making the call, and Bo Bichette makes the catch about 15 steps on the outfield grass, and the Brewers strand them loaded for the 2nd time. They've left 7 on base in 4 innings.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Start off the weekend right with 50% off Brewers tickets. It's a Wisconsin First Friday. Yeah, 50% off at Friday's game against the Reds. Take advantage of that special First Friday offer, brewers.com/Wisconsin Fridays. We're headed into the 5th. Brewers' frustrations continue with men on base. They're down 1-0, but still in this ball game. Anybody's game, and here's Lane Grindle.
All right, thank you very much, Josh. Myers has pitched well so far for the Crew in the first pitch. to Alejandro Kirk is down and away. It's 1-0. Tobias at just 46 pitches. As he works here this afternoon, he's been efficient. And the pitch is over for a strike. It's 1-1. Kirk popped up to short back in the second inning. 0 for 1 this afternoon. And the pitch rolled foul, third base side. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Kirk, Varsho, and Kiner Falefa. 6, 7, and 8 scheduled to hit for Toronto here in the top of the 5th. Myers 1-2 pitch and a liner right to Adames, who makes the catch going down to a knee for the first out of the inning. Willie's been a magnet over there on those line drives over the last couple of games. Willie talking into that Blue Jays dugout again. That has been a point of contention from the Toronto dugout, that Willie has taken some hits away over there. And he's having another laugh with the guys in that third base dugout. Here's the first pitch to Varsho. And a cut fastball caught the very top of the zone. It's 0-1. Another very good start so far for Tobias. A 1 pitch. And that caught the outside edge. And it's 0-2. Myers has been a major strike thrower. 51 pitches, 37 of which strikes. Just 14 pitches out of the zone over the course of this afternoon for Myers. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And he missed high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Time for a vibe check. Cooler full of Vizzy Hard Seltzer. That's a big vibe. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, the seltzer that passes the vibe check. Varsho, left-handed hitter. And a 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Went after a changeup, down and away. And it's an ortho ASAP strikeout of Dalton Varsho for Tobias Myers. That is his 3rd strikeout of this outing. And there's 2 down for Isaiah Kiner Falefa. This is just more of the same from Tobias. Very reminiscent of Friday night against the Tigers. And he drops a first pitch strike in there with a slider. It's 0-1. It is not overly complicated what he's doing. He is throwing strikes and getting ahead. A 1 pitch missed low with a slider. 1 ball and 1 strike. But it's not always getting ahead with the fastball. He'll drop the slider in there, the cutter. And the changeup's been a good pitch against lefties for him this afternoon. 1-1. This is lined out towards center, but right in the tracks of Blake Perkins. Moves to his right, reaches up, and makes the catch. Another efficient 1-2-3 inning for Tobias Myers. He's through 5. The Blue Jays lead at 1.
WTMJ.
1-0 Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the fifth inning. William Contreras to lead things off against Chris Bassett. 78 pitches for Bassett. First offering to Contreras, a breaking ball for a strike. And it's 0-1. Josh pointed out during the break in between innings, quick 1-2-3 inning from Myers and Bassett, who had to really work. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball right down the middle. And it's 0-2 on Contreras. To get out of that bases-loaded jam in the fourth inning, now he's right back out there in the fifth, towards the end of his start as well. 0-2. Curveball, hit on the ground. Played by the shortstop Bichette on the forehand. Throws to first from near the second base bag for the first down. One away for Christian Yelich. So we'll see if fatigue sets in at some point for Bassett. He's been so good of late. Worked 8 innings against the A's in his last start. And he is a veteran, as we told you at the beginning of the broadcast. 35 years of age. He debuted in 2014 for the White Sox. Big breaking ball missed outside to Yelich. And it's 1-0. Christian with a base hit today. He's 1 for 2. Stolen base to his credit this afternoon as well. Bassett, big deep breath. And now the 1-0 pitch. And a swing and a foul back. Yelich went after an elevated cut fastball. And it's 1-1. Now we love summer, and today feels like summer. Of course, you got holidays, graduations starting to wrap up, camping, grilling, a lot of grilling. Tonight, good night for you to do what? Grill. 1-1, flinches at a pitch that misses low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. If you're going to grill, you better make it U-zingers, and you could go with the brats, you could go with the Polish, maybe the Italians. I love the Cajun brats personally, the all-beef Franks, the knockwurst. 2-1, up and in, nearly hit him. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike on Yelich. Hard to choose between all of them, to be honest. And the great thing is you don't have to. You could just get them all and grill them all up from U-zingers. They're all going to be a hit. So hit for the cycle and grill them all. 3 balls and 1 strike on Yelich. The pitch missed inside. Yelich works the walk. Ortho ASAP, walk right in. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. 1 out walk to Yelich. Yelich has shown the tendency to get aggressive against Bassett. He swiped second base against him back in the first inning, so we'll see if Yelich gets started at some point during this at-bat with Willie Adames at the plate, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Bassett brings home the first pitch, and Willie took a strike right at the knees on a 2-seam fastball. It's 0-1. Bassett approaching 90 pitches. No action in the Blue Jays bullpen. And now a spin and a throw to first, and Yelich dives back in there head first. Bassett is definitely aware of Yelich at first. That much you can be sure of. Can Yelich earn Adames a mistake at the plate? 0-1. And chopped one foul. 2-seamer down and in. He hit it foul right in the box. And it's 0-2 on Willie. Frelick in the on-deck circle. Brewers trying to break through and get something going offensively. They won 3-1 on Monday. They were shut out 3-0 last night. And Chris Bassett is spinning a gem so far this afternoon, despite the Brewers having plenty of traffic on the base paths. The 0-2 pitch. There goes Yelich. Pitch missed inside. Now Yelich puts the brakes on, goes back to first, and slides back in there safely in front of a sweeping tag attempted by Horwitz. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Adames. Christian put the brakes on, hustled back to first as Kirk fired back behind him. And Yelich just able to get that right hand in there before the tag. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Adames. Homered in Monday night. And the pitch missed high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Homered in Monday night's game. That was the go-ahead run at the time. It made it a 2-1 ball game. Brewers added another one later on, a sac fly from Willie. So he drove in 2 of the 3 runs in this series that the Brewers have scored. Bassett with 10 on the pitch clock comes set. 2-2. Little broken bat flare near the bag at second base. Bichette will step in front of the bag and make the catch for the second out. And they're 2 away now for Sal Frelick. Bassett has been top. He's made the big pitches when he's needed to. And he's been asked to make some big pitches over the course of this game. Brewers left the bases loaded in the first and in the fourth. Went down in order in the third inning. That's the only inning they haven't had a base runner. And Bassett hasn't had to pitch out of the stretch. So here's Sal, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch to him is high, and it's 1-0. Zach Pop is getting loose in the Blue Jays bullpen. 1-0. Missed up and away. 2 balls and no strikes. No relation to Zach Soda. Depending on what part of the country you live in, is it a pop or is it a soda? It was always pop for me growing up.
Yeah, I thought you were a pop guy.
Yeah, I moved here. Soda has the numbers here. 2-0 pitch. Nailed the outside edge, and it's 2-1. Yeah, if you took a poll here in Milwaukee, it would be Soda. I feel pretty confident in that. Looking up at Kent Sommerfeld. He's probably our arbitrator there. Breaking ball, hit on the ground. This could be trouble. Charging is the second baseman. Kiner Falefa flips to first, not in time. Frelick hustling out of the box, able to beat it out. Kiner Falefa could only flip it out of his glove. Just a perfectly placed swinging ground ball on the right side. Got past Bassett. And once it got past Bassett, you knew it was trouble. And Kiner Falefa is a very good defender, so he made that a close play. But Sal able to beat it out. And now first and second for the Crew. And Jake Bauers back up there in a big spot again. He was up with the bases loaded in the first. Now he's up with first and second and 2 away. Brewers have out hit the Blue Jays 5-2 in this game. Is this the moment where they break through? Bauers climbing into the batter's box here. Brief delay before the pitch clock started again by Junior Valentine. Just 8 on that pitch clock as Bassett looks in. And the pitch. And Bauers takes down and in 1-0. Getting very close to 100 pitches now. 96. The ledger for Chris Bassett. Yelich with good speed at second base. Frelick right behind him at first. No slouch either. The 1-0. And that caught the outside part of the plate with a fastball at 93. That's been a strike most of the day. Just feels a little bit wide. It's a tough pitch for Jake Bauers to do anything with. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. And a breaking ball missed down and in. Big overhand curveball. 2 balls and 1 strike the count here on Bauers. Had that cue shot single off the bag at third, back in the fourth. Brewers would love one of those Jake Bauers liners down the right field line. We've seen that often over the course of this year. Trying to get that big hit. Brewers have seen it evade them the last couple of games. Here's the 2-1. And he took a strike. Splitter that it feels wide, but that's been a strike for Junior Valentine most of the day. And it's just a really tough pitch for a left-handed hitter to do anything with. But the only thing he can do is try to shoot it down the left field line. Here's the 2-2, and a swing and a miss. Bauers strikes out, and the inning is over. Brewers had another threat. Couldn't get anything across here in the bottom of the fifth. We go to the sixth, 1-0 Blue Jays.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Blue Jays with a 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the sixth inning. Tobias Myers back out there on the mound for the Crew. He's pitched wonderfully over the course of the afternoon. And here's Ernie Clement to lead things off for Toronto. First pitch swinging, and he fouls it up the third baseline off the facing of the Blue Jays dugout. It's 0-1. Myers at 57 pitches. He's been brilliant over the course of this game. Just the one mistake. Ground ball, left side. Diving attempt by Dunn. He can't field it. Backhanded by Adames. Throws to first in time. Wow. Clement saying he's safe. Blue Jays seeing if they want to challenge it. Dunn laid out for it. Couldn't get to it. Backhanded by Adames, and that one-hop throw for the time being results in an out. But John Schneider is going to have them take a look at this. And it looks like maybe this one has a shot to be overturned. Here's Adrian Johnson.
Call it first base.
So getting a look at the replay, this is going to be very close, but looks like he's probably safe.
Yeah, this should be pretty quickly overturned. His foot was on the bag a little bit before the ball bounced into the mid of the first baseman, Bauers. So it's going to be a hit there, despite a great attempt by Adames.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. The runner is safe. Toronto retains their challenge.
Very quick review overturned, brought to you by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Pella can customize windows and doors that match any era's architecture. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. So a man on and nobody out for Spencer Horwitz. It goes back to the top of the order for Toronto. And the pitch, and Horwitz takes his strike. It's 0-1. Horwitz with another hit today. He has 5 hits in this series. He's 5 for 10 against Brewers pitching here this week. Myers 0-1, and checked his swing, but caught the inside part of the plate. The low inside corner, and it's 0-2. Clement at first, and nobody out here. Top of the 6th inning, a 1-0 Blue Jays lead. 0-2 pitch, missed outside of the fastball, and it's 1-2. Seen Myers really lean on that fastball as he typically does. The changeups he's thrown have been effective. This is hit down the left field line, but foul, and it stays at 1-2 on Horwitz. Throwing the cutter a lot as well here today. 13 cutters thrown by Myers. And a handful of sliders as well, but mainly fastball cutter. 1-2 pitch. Fouled out of play, and it stays at 1-2. Don't miss George Webb's double play meal deal. 7 cheeseburgers, 2 orders of fries for just $17.99. Win, lose, home or away. Visit georgewebb.com for locations and details. Myers turns and throws to first, and back in time is Clement. Tobias again throws to first. Nearly got him, they did. Jake Bowers applying the tag on Ernie Clement. So he was initially called out on the ground ball to Adames. It was overturned. And now Myers, on his second pickoff attempt, picks him off at first. John Schneider is going to have them take a look at this one, too. So he is going to have them put the headsets on and review this. Ramon De Jesus is saying, "You're out," to Ernie Clement, and you got to go. And John Schneider wants them to take a look at this. Adrian Johnson is coming in to talk with John Schneider about it.
I wonder if he's being told he took too much time to decide whether or not he was going to challenge.
That's the only explanation, right? That's the only explanation. It was a sweeping tag. It was very close. Almost looked like he might have missed him, but I think he just got him with the tip of the glove on that tag. And if he did, he's out. So Horwitz lines this one foul and out of play down the left field line. It stays at 1-2. That is the only explanation, because he's not out of challenges. He won the challenge earlier in the inning. And whatever Adrian Johnson told him, John Schneider was fine with. He ran right back into the dugout. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup. Ortho ASAP strikeout of Horwitz. And the complexion of this inning has changed significantly. 2 down, nobody on now for Davis Schneider. That's really the only explanation of what could have happened. That is only the 7th changeup that Myers has thrown today. It's been a good one against lefties, though. He's used it to finish off a few left-handed hitters. Schneider, a liner out to center. Back on it is Perkins on the edge of the warning track to make the catch. And the inning is over. Another quick inning for Tobias Myers. Just 66 pitches through 6 for the Brewers rookie. We go to the bottom of the 6th.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Flagship of the Milwaukee Brewers, WTMJ.
1-0 Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. Sixth inning is the Woodman's Food Market's home run inning. Our contestant is Tina Grosick from Neenah. Tina will win a gift card jackpot of $1,250. That is the same as $1,250. If a member of the crew hits a home run this inning, $100 will be added to the total for each additional home run this half. Visit any participating Woodman's store to enter. Service and savings, that's Woodman's. Jackson Churio leads off the sixth for the crew against new right-hander Zach Pop. He pitched on Monday night in the series opener. The first pitch to Churio is a ground ball behind the bag at third, fielded by Clement. Throw to first in time. A nice play by Clement to get the speedy Jackson Churio for the first out here in the sixth. One away for Oliver Dunn. So Bassett, who pitched very well, is out of this game. Bassett goes 5 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 4 walks, and 5 strikeouts for Chris Bassett. And now here's Dunn, who is reached on a walk and also put down a sacrifice bunt. And he takes a strike on the outside edge with a two-seam fastball at 0-1. Pop brings home the pitch. Swing and a miss. Cut fastball, ran inside on Dunn, and it's 0-2 on Ollie.
Think about that line for Bassett. 9 base runners against, and none of them scored. That's hard to do.
This is very similar to last night's game. 0-2 pitch. Soft liner right towards Bichette, who comes in a couple of steps, makes the catch, and there's 2 down. And that'll get Blake Perkins to the plate. Brewers have been retired in order just one time today. That was back in the third. They have not just left a base runner, but they've left multiple base runners in the first, and again in the fourth, and again in the fifth. And twice they've left the bases loaded here this afternoon. Pitch to Perkins is outside. It's 1-0. Pop worked the 6th inning and gave up a run to the Brewers on Monday night. One 1-0 to Perkins, and he missed inside. 2 balls and no strikes on Blake Perkins, with the top of the order and Bryce Terang looming in the on-deck circle. Pop out of the stretch, the 2-0. Way outside, easy take for Perkins. And it's 3 balls and no strikes. 30,444 your attendance in this series finale. Brewers off tomorrow, and then a weekend series against the Reds, as Perkins taking all the way, takes a strike on a fastball at 96. It's 3-1. Big series with the Reds coming up this weekend. Cincinnati playing well. They play later tonight against Cleveland as Perkins takes low and works the 2-out walk. Ortho ASAP, walk right in. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. So a 2-out base runner now for Bryce Terang. Brewers trying to get something going offensively. Tim Meza getting loose for the Blue Jays, the left-hander. First offering to Terang. Ground ball back up the middle. Diving for it is Kiner Falefa, but it's into center field. First to third goes Perkins. Brewers have him on the corners for William Contreras. Not hit overly hard, but well placed. And Kiner Falefa made a diving attempt but couldn't get to it. And this may be the last batter Zach Pop gets to face. He'll get Contreras here. Meza, the lefty, is up. If Contreras would reach with Yelich in the on-deck circle, you would think John Schneider would go to the lefty. But the Brewers focused right now on their MVP candidate at the plate. And if he can come up with a big swing here in the bottom of the sixth, trailing 1-0, but a big threat here with 2 outs. There goes the runner. The pitch is down and in. And he's going to get caught in a rundown. And the ball gets away from the shortstop, Bichette, and rolls into shallow right field. Coming down the line and scoring is Perkins. On his way to third goes Terang. Terang was trying to get caught in a rundown, and it was actually Kiner Falefa who cut in front of the bag to take the throw, and he didn't catch it cleanly, and it went off of his glove and deflected into shallow right field. So the Brewers have tied this game, and it's a 1-0 count on Contreras at the plate with the go-ahead run 90 feet away. Bichette had to scramble out there and collect it. And now the 1-0, and Contreras lays off a slider down and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Boy, the Brewers have used that play so many times over the course of this year. If you're the opponent, you know it's coming in a spot like that. 2-0 pitch, ground ball on the right side, into right field, base hit Contreras. Terang trots home, the Brewers lead it 2-1. William Contreras drives in his 47th of the season. And just like that, the Brewers, not just on the board, but enjoying a 1-run lead. And John Schneider out of the dugout. That will be it for Zach Pop. Brewers got to him Monday night. They get to him here on this Wednesday afternoon. U.S. Cellular proud to support the Brewers. When the game is on, notifications go off. Enjoy the game with your crew. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Mesa's coming in to face...
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Everybody loves usingers. Just keep them away from my peppered bacon.
Left-hander Tim Mesa is on to work here for Toronto. Brewers have taken a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the sixth. A double steal by the crew, and then a base hit RBI by William Contreras have given the Brewers a chance to break through here in the sixth. And now here's Yelich. First pitch is outside with a 2-seam fastball. It's 1-0. So just to do a little house cleaning for you on that double steal, there is an error that allows Terang to get to third. So it's a double steal, but then an error as well here in this inning. 1-0 pitch. That's a strike on the outside edge to Yelich. And Christian not in agreement with Junior Valentine. It's 1-1. Brian Hudson is getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. There's action again in the Blue Jays bullpen. 1-1, down and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Contreras getting his lead from first. Meza comes set. And now throws to first and throws low, but caught by Horwitz. And back in plenty of time was Contreras. Trevor Richards, who pitched last night, is in the pen for the Blue Jays. There goes the runner. Pitch is a strike. Throw to second. Not in time. William Contreras on his motorcycle to second base with a stolen base here, and he gets himself into scoring position. That is 3 stolen bases in the inning. Delta Dental and Delta Vision donates to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Wisconsin for every Brewers stolen base. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Yelich. Brewers looking for some network health insurance runs now here in the 6th. And the pitch. Yelich, a bouncer on the left side. It's going to get under the glove of Clement and trickle into left field. Contreras around third. The Brewers have a 3-1 lead on an RBI single from Christian Yelich. And the Brewers base running yet again looming large in this inning. 3 stolen bases, and they've all led to runs. And it's a 3-1 Brewers lead, and now here's Willy Adames. Yelich drives in his 30th of the year. And the pitch to Willie is high.
And all of this with 2 outs. Zach Pop got the first 2 batters. Walk, single, single, single.
Yeah, he focused so much on the stolen bases and these ground balls that have found their way through. 1-0, swung on and fouled back into the net. And it's 1-1. But how about some credit to Perkins, who got in there and worked the walk to just extend the inning and set this whole thing up. One ball and 1 strike on Willie. The pitch. And Adames took high. 2 balls and a strike.
You kind of called it earlier. You had the feeling that once you broke the dam open, that the water was going to start flowing freely. All of a sudden, you got 3 runs on the board.
And you just figure that over the course of this season, the success of the Brewers offensively was going to show back up. And when it did, it was going to show back up in a big way. High fly ball, deep center field. Varsho's back. Track. Bye. Baseball. Willy Adames with an exclamation point here in the 6th. A 2-run shot. It's 5-1 Crew on Willie's 11th of the season. And yes, the floodgates have opened at American Family Field. Adames got a slider. It was up, and he demolished that baseball 446 feet out to center. Here's Sal Frelick. Bunts it up the first baseline. This is a great bunt. It's a single for Frelick. That ball just died halfway to first base in fair territory. And the Brewers getting after the Blue Jays bullpen here in the 6th inning. And before Jake Bowers comes to the plate, 10 seconds for station identification on the Brewers Radio Network. Meza throws to first, and Yelich back in time. It's 5-1 Brewers here in the bottom of the 6th. With Josh Maurer and Kent Sommerfeld, Lane Grindle with you here this afternoon. Jake Bowers the batter. Frelick at first, 2 outs. And the pitch. In there for a strike, it's 0-1. Congratulations to Tina Grosick from Nina. It's a big jackpot as well for Tina. $1,250. Courtesy of Woodman's Food Stores. Service and savings, that's Woodman's. Bowers takes a slider low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on Jake. Frelick gets his lead. And the pitch missed outside, 2-1. Bowers has a hit today. He's 1 for 3. Meza, the 2-1, missed down and away. 3 balls and 1 strike. $100 to Hunger Task Force Milwaukee, courtesy of Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, for that home run by Adames. 3-1. Bowers takes a strike, and the count is full. It's 3-2. All of those opportunities over the course of the last 2 nights, and finally the Brewers get the big hit, and once they did, it was like a pressure valve was released. And the big inning has been put together. The 9th batter of the inning, Jake Bowers, at the plate here. 3-2 pitch. There goes the runner, and it's swung on and fouled out of play third base side. Stays at 3-2.
And again, the first 2 guys were out.
Everything has happened. After the ground out by Churio, on a nice play by Ernie Clement, and then the line out to the second base bag by Oliver Dunn. There goes the runner. Ground ball on the right side. Big huge hop for Kiner Falefa. Tosses it to first, retires Bowers, and the inning is over. But a standing ovation from the 30,000 plus here at American Family Field. The Brewers put 5 on the board, all with 2 outs, and they lead it 5-1 as we head to the 7th.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Brian Hudson takes over on the mound for the Crew. A 5-1 lead to protect for the Brewers. And stepping in to call it for you, here's Josh Maurer.
Thank you, Lane. What an inning in the bottom of the 6th. 5 2-out runs, all earned. 3 steals, 5 hits. And the big 2-run home run by Willie Adames, changing this game and then some. Bo Bichette greets Brian Hudson. Left-hander's pitch. Pumped in, knee-high inside corner, 0-1. Three of the runs were charged to Zach Pop, and the last 2 to Tim Meza. Now the 0-1. Bichette takes down and in, 1-1 from Hudson. It was another phenomenal start from Tobias Myers for the Brewers. He's in line for the win again after 6 innings of 3-hit, 1-run baseball. Bichette 0 for 2 against him, and he lines one foul right field side and drifting out of play, 1-2. Myers only walked 1 batter. He struck out 4, and how about this? Of his 66 pitches, 49 of them were strikes. He was all over the strike zone in this one. Hudson's 1-2 pitch. Line foul again, right field side by Bo Bichette into the seats. 5-1 Milwaukee trying to win this series. It would be their 6th straight home series that they've won. Bichette, Vogelbach, and Springer. 3, 4, and 5 in the order due. The 1-2. Bichette takes just outside with a fastball. 93 miles an hour, but ball 2 from Brian Hudson. Had a couple of scoreless appearances on the last road trip. One in Philly and one Saturday in Detroit. That was the last time he pitched. Hudson's numbers incredible. 2-2 way outside on Bichette. It's a full count. In his first 23 outings, Hudson 4-0 and a 1.03 earned run average. He has been one of the best in baseball. Big, tall left-hander. 3-2 pitch. Hit in the air, deep but foul left field side. Bichette got out in front of a sweeper, and it's still a full count. In 35 innings as a Brewer, Hudson's only permitted 17 hits and 4 runs. That's it. The league batting 144 against him. 3-2 again. Swing ground ball to shortstop. Willie Adames goes down to field it as it stayed low, and Willie makes the perfect throw to first in time to get Bichette. One shortstop retires the other. 1 up and 1 down, and we'll get a pinch hitter here for Daniel Vogelbach. They didn't want him to face the left-hander Hudson. And instead it's going to be Danny Jansen, the Wisconsin kid from Appleton. Jansen comes in batting .264. He's got pop, normally a catcher. 5 home runs. He's driven in 16. 1 out in the pitch, swung on, and he popped him up. Third base side, right near the mound. Brian Hudson takes charge. How about that? The pitcher made the catch about halfway between the mound and the chalk. And the pinch hitter, Jansen, is gone on 1 pitch. I'm going to write P1 on my scorecard. That's how I score that. 2 up and 2 down. Ho-hum for Brian Hudson. And now George Springer to the plate, 0 for 2, including a double play ground out last time.
I don't know that we score very similarly, but that is the same as I would write in that scenario.
Fly ball foul, right field side into the seats. Good to hear. Yeah, we have our subtle differences.
Well, my language completely changed in my scorebook because, and we've talked about this a lot on the broadcast, but you know, I score with Bob when I call games with Bob, so we score in the same language.
Springer chops a foul. That was a fastball from Hudson. It's 0-2.
More style if you want. However it is, everybody has their own unique way that they score a game. But the way I scored a game before I started working with Bob was entirely different than I do now. I couldn't even do it the way I used to do it. Now I don't even remember what it was like. No.
0-2 pitch. Springer swings and just gets a piece. He chopped it foul to the backstop. Still nothing in 2. 2 out, bases empty, and a 5-1 Brewers lead. It's one of those things, the art of scoring baseball, that almost no 2 people do the same way.
There's no wrong answer. As long as you understand it, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're scoring with Bob, then he needs to be able to understand it.
0-2 fouled off. It hit the dirt, then hit the lower body of Springer inside the box. He stays alive. Yeah, that one does have a right answer and a wrong answer.
That's right. Bob's answer is the right one.
Bob getting the day off, but his scorebook still in action as we speak. Under the tutelage of Mr. Grindle.
Keeper of the book.
2 out, 2 strikes. The pitch, swing and a miss by Springer. Fastball challenged him, and he couldn't touch it. Brian Hudson, ortho ASAP punch out. He was terrific again in a 1-2.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
University. Live uncommon.
Bob Uecker. He just hit a three-run shot on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Trevor Richards, the third reliever in 2 innings for the Toronto bullpen. We go to the bottom of the 7th as Richards enters to face the same part of the order that came up in the 6th. Starting with Jackson Churio, who takes low ball 1 from Richards. It is 5-1, the Brewers. They scored 5 2-out runs last inning. And now Richards is in there. Jackson has gone 2 for 3, a pair of singles. The 1-0. Fly foul right field side and into the seats. Tim Meza got the final out finally in that 6th inning, but he gave up an inherited runner and the 2-run home run by Willie Adames. 3 hits, 2 runs against Meza. Zach Pop is on the hook for the loss. The pitch is a little bit high on Churio. It goes to 2-1 from Trevor Richards. Oliver Dunn and Blake Perkins to follow. Breaking ball drops in for a strike, and it's 2-2. Richards' 29th appearance, all but 1 in relief this year. 1-0 with a 3-4-1. The 1-2 pitch. Bounced it in there on Churio. It's a full count. Former Brewer farmhand Trevor Richards traded the Rowdy Tellez deal over to Toronto. The 3-2 pitch. Elevated fastball, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Good start for Richards. We also saw him in last night's game. 1 down. The 7th inning stretch, sponsored by IslandResortGolf.com. The Island is your premier resort destination, largest north of Milwaukee, and the place to be this summer. Book your trip today at IslandResortAndCasino.com. Now it's Ollie Dunn taking a strike. Out of town scoreboard, brought to you by Construction Business Group. Our drive around the league, Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors building Wisconsin together. First the 0-1 to Dunn. Swung on and popped foul, coming back and over our heads. And it's 0-2 on Dunn. Later tonight, Pirates and Cardinals, 6:45 Central. Bailey Falter and Sonny Gray, good pitching matchup. Game 2 of that 3-game series at Busch. Pirates won 2-1 yesterday in a pitcher's duel. 0-2. Tried to check on one that bounced in, and he did. It's ball 1. Miles Michaelis took a no-hitter into the 7th inning, but the Pirates ended up winning that game behind Paul Skeens, 2-1. And at the moment, the Pirates are the closest to the Brewers in the Central. They're in second. 6.5 back, though. 1-2. That time he committed on a pitch that bounced in, did Dunn, and that's strike 3. Couple of swinging strikeouts for Trevor Richards. They got 2 outs in last night's win. He's gotten 2 outs thus far here in the 7th. 5-1 Milwaukee, though. Pitched 15 games for the Brewers in 2021, did Richards, before the Rowdy Tellez deal. Then now Blake Perkins, who started the rally last inning with a walk. Takes a strike, perhaps generously granted over the lower outside corner. Kobe Milner getting loose. Looks like he will get the 8th inning for the Crew. The 0-1 pitch. Perkins takes outside that time. 1-1. Yeah, Richards never actually pitched in the Brewers minor leagues. A bunt by Perkins, perfectly rolled up the third base line, hugging the dirt, but never rolling foul. It's still rolling. Is it going to go foul? Yeah, it finally did, right before the third base bag. Foul ball, and then the third baseman Clement picks it up to keep it that way. Oh, boy.
That rolled fair all the way until maybe an inch before the bag, and they were sitting there waiting, and now you're committed to it. You have to wait, right, and see if it goes foul. Blake almost could have gotten to second and turned that into a double if it would have stayed fair.
It was rolling on the dirt, but on the fair side of the chalk the whole way. It was not on the grass, and usually once it gets on the dirt, it's going to take that sideways turn, but it took a long time before it finally did. So the count goes to 1-2 with 2 out and nobody aboard. 0-for-2 with that aforementioned walk today for Perkins. The bases are clear. 1-2. Swung on and popped foul. Third base side, and that one will reach the seats. Talking about the scores, we'll be keeping our eye on that Pittsburgh-St. Louis game, and also the Guardians and Reds, 6:10 Central from Cincinnati, ending a 2-game series. And the Guardians, one of the hottest teams in baseball, trying to get a sweep of Cincy. Tanner Bybee and Nick Lodolo. Cincinnati had a 7-game winning streak, but now they've lost 2 in a row. Before they come here Friday, pitches in the dirt, taken by Perkins, 2-2.
Fun pitching matchup Friday night. Freddie Peralta and Hunter Green.
Yeah, you like velo? That's your kind of game in the pitching department. Looking forward to that whole weekend. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out, did Richards, with a changeup. And Trevor Richards, former Brewer, strikes out the side here in the 7th in order. So Hopi Milner time as we go to the 8th. It is still 5-1.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
time. Cue up Rush on the sound system here at American Family Field. We go to the 8th inning, and the Brewers holding a 5-1 lead as Milner becomes the third pitcher of the afternoon after a perfect 7th from Brian Hudson. He will take over, as will Lane Grindle on the play-by-play.
Right now?
It's all yours.
Okay, thank you. Just waiting for permission. Thank you, Josh.
Granted.
Beautiful afternoon, a warm afternoon here at American Family Field, but Brewers with a good-looking scoreboard right now with a 5-1 lead, and Hobie Milner, first pitch to Alejandro Kirk, in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Brewers with a 5-run bottom of the 6th. 0-1, swing and a miss at that breaking ball in on the back foot of Kirk, and it's 0-2. Chance to win this series here this afternoon. They have been so good at home over the last month or so of the year. Popped up foul. Bowers giving it a look. It's out of play. First base side, and it's 0-2 on Kirk. Still, Brewers enjoying a healthy lead in the division and a chance to put a dent in the hopes of a division rival coming up this weekend with the Cincinnati Reds coming to town. 0-2 pitch, missed down and away with a breaking ball. It's 1-2. There are going to be big crowds this weekend for that Reds series. It's going to be a fun time out here at the ballpark. Hope to see you out here. 1-2, nailed the outside corner, breaking ball. Kirk backpedaling out of the batter's box in protest. He is down on strikes. Ortho ASAP strikeout of Kirk. One away here in the top of the 8th. And now here's Dalton Varsho, who has struck out both times today, but he's not going to get a chance to strike out a third because Justin Turner is pinch hitting for him. So the longtime Dodger, former Met, former Boston Red Sox, Justin Turner at the plate. And the first pitch from Hobie missed a little bit wide of the plate with a changeup. It's 1-0. A 5-1 Brewers lead. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 10-3 in this game. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. There is action in the Blue Jays bullpen. That is Little. Brennan Little. Here's a liner right into the glove of Jake Bowers at first. Catches it right above the shoe tops for the second out of the inning. Little worked the 7th inning on Monday night for Toronto. So 2 down now for Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, the former Yankee, former Texas Ranger. Milner brings home the pitch, and he missed down and in with a breaking ball. It's 1-0. Today's 8th inning is brought to you by the Wisconsin Laborers District Council, representing 9,000 skilled union laborers throughout Wisconsin. Learn more at liunawisconsin.org. That's Liuna, and feel the power. Called strike to Kiner-Falefa. It's 1 ball and 1 strike on the Blue Jays' second baseman. Milner brings home the pitch, and he missed down and in with a breaking ball. That one did not miss by much, just a little bit low. 2-1. Hobie looking for a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. 2-1. That's in there for a strike. That was the changeup at the very top. And it's 2-2. Two pitch. Got him looking. Two-seam fastball clipped the low inside corner. And 2 ortho ASAP strikeouts for Hobie Milner in a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. We go to the...
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Well, if you were at the ballpark today here at American Family Field, 87 degrees at first pitch. A good day for a Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. Refreshing Weiss beer, natural lemonade flavor. Leinenkugel's flavor the moment. A 5-1 Brewers lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Bryce Terang to lead things off for the Crew. And Brendan Little takes over on the mound for Toronto. Brendan Little, as we told you, worked Monday night in the series opener. Left-handed pitcher, and the first pitch brought home to Terang nearly hit him, went all the way back to the backstop. It's 1-0. So Little is the 5th pitcher used by the Blue Jays here today. They worked the final 2 innings of Monday's game as Terang pops this one up. Shallow left into foul territory. Out goes the third baseman, Clement. He's there in foul territory to make the catch. And there's one away. How do you mark that one, Josh?
P5. I never differentiate fair or foul.
I never used to. I've started doing that, yeah.
I probably should.
I have found it to be enlightening. It might be a powerful word. Here's William Contreras. First pitch to him. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Oh, really?
That might have been a pretty dramatic word for that, to be honest with you. Very enlightening. Here's the 0-1. And a ground ball on the left side. Big hop for Clement. Spins and throws to first and takes care of Contreras for the second out. 2 down for Christian Yelich. Brewers looking for some more Network Health Insurance runs. The only thing better than scoring runs this inning, scoring a great health plan. Visit networkhealth.com today. So lefty versus lefty here. Yelich has had a good day at the plate, 2 for 3. And he chops this one past Little. It's going to be trouble. Kiner Falefa tries to flip out of the glove. No can do. Yelich with his 3rd hit of this contest. He has been on base 4 times this afternoon. And that was very reminiscent of the Terang hit in the 6th inning. As Yelich is aboard. I should correct myself. The Frelick hit in the 5th inning. Very similar to that one as Adames takes down and in. It's 1-0. So Yelich at first with 2 outs here. And Adames, who had the 2-run home run back in the 6th. Now 47 RBIs on the year for Willie. Little brings home the pitch, and Adames fouls it out of play. Behind home plate into the second deck, down and to the right of us. 1 ball and 1 strike on Willie. 2 home runs in the series for Adames. That home run in the 6th was off the scoreboard. 446 feet. 1-1. And Adames, a fly ball into center. This is very playable. Kiermaier, who came into the game this inning, comes in and to his left makes the catch. And the inning is over. Brewers get a 2-out single from Yelich. They strand him at first base.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Biofuels.org. Every pitch all season long. On the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
To the ninth we go, a 5-1 Brewers lead. The Crew 3 outs away from a series victory over the Toronto Blue Jays here this afternoon. Ernie Clement will lead things off for Toronto in the top of the 9th. Hobie Milner trying to finish this one off. He's back out there for a second inning on the mound. Clement then to the top of the order. Horwitz and Davis Schneider scheduled to hit for the Blue Jays. First offering is lined out toward left. Long run in the corner for Chourio. He won't get to it. Collects it on a couple of hops, and motoring into second with a double is Ernie Clement. Trevor McGill starting to get loose in that Brewers bullpen after the leadoff double for Clement. So now here's Spencer Horwitz. Well, nothing goes with baseball like a Usinger brat. Perfect meal for a ball game like today, especially when it's served with your favorite award-winning Pine River cheese spread, Wisconsin's best. Ground ball on the right side. It's going to skirt through and into right field for a base hit. Around third, headed for home is Clement. He will score, and it's a 5-2 ball game. That was not a hard hit ground ball whatsoever, but it just found its way through that right side, and Chris Hook is on his way out to chat with Hobie Milner. Back-to-back hits. Don't go anywhere just quite yet. Trips to the mound presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook, a new era of sports betting at Potawatomi Sportsbook. Video walls, self-service kiosks, restaurant, bar, VIP deck, and more. It's a sports fan's paradise. So Chris Hook chatting with Hobie Milner. Trevor McGill has been getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. And the conference between Chris Hook, Hobie Milner, and William Contreras has ceased. And now here's Davis Schneider, who had the solo home run off Myers back in the first inning. Now, there's going to be a lot of talk about the 5-run inning in the 6th here today for the Crew, assuming that this Score holds. Pitch is over but low to Schneider, and it's 1-0. But what should never get lost in the conversation of this game is Tobias Myers backing up what he did on Friday night. Very impressive outing again today from Tobias. Here's the pitch, and the breaking ball in there for a strike. It's 1-1 on Davis Schneider. Milner's 1-1. Soft liner into left. That's going to get down for a base hit. And now the tying run will come to the plate for Toronto. A 5-2 ball game. And that'll be it for Hobie Milner. Pat Murphy out of the dugout, and he'll go take the baseball from his lefty. And he'll have to bring McGill into this game. It's a U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen. They're proud to support the Brewers. And when the game is on, notifications go off. Enjoy the game with your crew. U.S. Cellular, built for us. Nobody out. 1 run in. 2 on for Toronto. 5-2 Brewers lead. Trevor McGill takes over on the mound for the Brewers, as Bo Bichette will be the batter for Toronto. Trevor is on for a Fleet Farm Saves opportunity. Find savings on everything you need in one stop. A 5-2 Brewers lead. 2 on, 1 run already in this inning. And so a tough situation to inherit here for Trevor McGill. Tying run coming to the plate, and he is going to have to face a dangerous hitter in Bo Bichette. McGill going through his warm-up tosses here, and now Bichette strolling to the plate. Bichette is 0 for 3 today. Right-handed hitter against the right-handed heat from Trevor McGill. Runner at second is Horwitz. Schneider's at first. First pitch from McGill is sprayed foul, first base side. It's 0-1. Brewers led 5-1 coming into this inning. But a little pressure at the end of this game for Trevor McGill. 0-1. Bounced in the dirt. Gets past Contreras. Both runners move up 90 feet. So Horwitz to third. Schneider to second on a wild pitch. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count here on Bo Bichette. Bichette looking out at McGill. And the 1-1. Ground ball on the right side. Diving stop by Terang. Nobody's at first to cover. He keeps it on the infield. A run comes home to score in Horwitz. To third goes Schneider. Bichette safe at first on an infield single. And now the tying run is at first base for Toronto. And so much of this inning has been soft contact against Milner and McGill. But that's the way the game works sometimes. And now here's the Wisconsin native and Danny Jansen. It's a 5-3 ball game. So Bichette is the run you're worried about at first base. McGill. First pitch to Jansen. And a check swing. He didn't go, and the pitch missed high. It's 1-0. Runners on the corners, still nobody out in the inning. McGill's 1-0 pitch, and he missed down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. The count here on Danny Jansen. Jansen pinch hit back in the 7th for the DH Vogelback. McGill spins, throws to first, throws it low, but knocked down by Bowers. Everybody back to their bags. Good job of knocking that one down by Jake. And McGill will ask for a new baseball. He throws that one out of play. And Contreras gets a new one from Junior Valentine to throw out to McGill. 2 balls, no strikes on Jansen. Nobody out. Runners on the corners. A 5-3 Brewers lead here, top of the 9th inning. Brewer crowd trying to encourage McGill here. 2-0 pitch. Missed way inside. It's 3 balls and no strikes. You've got George Springer in the on-deck circle for Toronto. Major trouble here in the 9th for the Crew. But a guy that can get you out of it in McGill. 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. It's 3-1. Jansen popped up to Brian Hudson back in the 7th. Oh for 1 today. The 3-1. And a fly ball fouling out of play first base side. The count is full at 3-2. So McGill trying to work his way back after falling behind 3-0 against Jansen here. Brewers still looking for that first out of the inning. 3-2 pitch coming. Missed high, walked him, and the bases are loaded for Toronto. So it's been 4 straight hits, now a walk in this inning for the Blue Jays. 2 runs home. And now George Springer coming to the plate. Springer 0 for 3 today. 1 for 9 in this series. A right-handed veteran, former Houston Astro. Blue Jays have the situation they were hoping for when this inning began. They have played it a couple, and they've got the Brewers in a tight spot. Springer struck out in his last at bat in the 7th against Hudson. McGill brings home the first pitch. Fouled out of play, first base side. It's 0-1. Still a 2-run lead. The tying run is in scoring position now for Toronto. That is Bichette at second base. He reached on an infield single. Jansen would be the go-ahead run. He is at first base. 0-1. Swing and a miss at that curveball down and away, and it's 0-2 on Springer. Alejandro Kirk is in the on-deck circle for the Blue Jays. Still nobody out in the inning. McGill, 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 101 at the very top of the strike zone, and a huge ortho ASAP strikeout recorded by Trevor McGill. 1 huge out, and 2 more big ones to get. And Alejandro Kirk at the plate. And in the on-deck circle is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. First pitch. Kirk flies one out to center. Back on it is Perkins. At the warning track. Backpedaling up against the wall. He makes the catch. tagging from third. Down the line to score is Schneider. It's a 5-4 ball game. Bichette goes to third, but there's 2 outs and runners on the corners, and it's going to come down to power versus power. McGill versus Vlad Guerrero Jr., and Chris Hook is on his way out for a visit with McGill before this battle begins. Trips to the mound presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. A new era of sports betting at Potawatomi. Video wall, self-service kiosk, restaurant, bar, VIP deck, more. It is a sports fan's paradise. Well, if you want drama at the end of this game, you're getting it now. A 1-run game after it was 5-1 at the start of the 9th. But McGill has retired the last 2 batters that he's faced. And now trying to finish this game off, but he's got to go through the pinch hitter, Vlad Guerrero Jr., in order to do so. Major power with Vlad Guerrero Jr. hitting .282 on the year, 7 home runs, 30 driven in. Tying runs at third, go-ahead run is at first. McGill kicks the leg, brings home the pitch, and he caught the very bottom of the strike zone with a fastball at 100. It's 0-1. You think McGill's fired up? Seeing a lot of triple digits right now on that radar gun. Here's the 0-1. Fly ball out to center. Perkins back on it. Still back on it. Onto the warning track. Makes the catch. This ball game is over. The Brewers hold on. And they take 2 of 3 from Toronto. The final score here this afternoon, 5-4 Crew. It got dicey in the 9th, but McGill kept his composure and got the Brewers through it. And the Crew wins their 40th game of the season in thrilling fashion here on this Wednesday. 5-4 your final, 30,000 plus, treated to a great baseball game, and we're back to tell you all about it after this on the Brewers Radio Network.
Check out our brand new Hyundai dealership, one of the largest in the Midwest.
Step inside of our state-of-the-art showroom where you can view our new Hyundai models and some of our fun.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma.
At age 30, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, you can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.